Okay, so as promised, there is the bodice. It is in a muslin. Again, this bodice muslin is the underlining for the dress. All right, so what we've done, remember it's not sized to anybody particularly, so it's going to fit the buyer. The measurements are 42, 36 and a half, about 40, maybe 46 around the hip line, 44 around the hip line. And so we've got the bodice here. It's looking really good. I'm going to put boning in the um, bodice, so the top is not done at all. And then we've got the back. Okay, let me make sure we're in the camera. So we've got the back here. That's going to have a zipper probably about down to here into the skirt itself. I'm not sure yet what I want to do here in the back, if I want to do a sheer or a mesh overlay with lace. Still not quite sure. But I do want to show you some gown ideas I have for this skirt, or options that I have for the skirt that I haven't yet decided on. So let me show you that. All right, so I've got 6 skirt types that I want to decide about what I want to make the gown look like on the bottom. The top, of course, is going to be a sweetheart neckline. I may add a mesh overlay from the bodice front to the back with some lace applique. I'm not quite sure, but I need to get the skirt decided so that I can make the underlining for the skirt and move forward to the lining and the fashion fabric itself. I know it sounds like I'm doing things a little bit backwards, and I probably am, but this is how I want to put this gown together from the bottom up. You start with the foundation first, and then you work up to the actual building, right? And so I want to take that same concept with my gowns and work with the underlining and all of the little details that go into that, and then add the lining and the fashion fabric, um, work with those pieces as well, and then bring them all together. So we've got 6 skirts that I'm looking at. The first one to your left is an A-line skirt. It flares out from the waist and covers the hips slightly, and then drops to the ground. The second one is a sheath dress. It drops directly from the hips straight down with no flare in the skirt at all. That might be something where you'd want to do an overskirt that extends out even all the more, kind of like Marie Antoinette. If you want to have maybe an idea of what that might look like. And then we've got the ball gown, which is typical for those big fashion, but my big fat Greek wedding. Okay, so think about that when you think about a ball gown. It's exaggerated from the waist all the way to the hemline, and I mean it can get as big as you want it to get, depending on what you put up under there to support it, like a petticoat, ruffles, or a cage. You know, those are things that would help it stand out all the more. And then we've got on the bottom. We've got 3 here. So we've got a trumpet skirt. Let me raise this up a little bit. We've got a trumpet skirt here, which you can see it has a, if you can see, it kind of goes around the lower hip, I mean the upper hip, and then flares out. Um, so if you have larger hips, that's probably not going to be a real good option if you don't want to exaggerate your hips in that arena or with that gown. It might be more flattering to do the ball gown because it flares out from the waist. And then we have the serpentine mermaid, which we sometimes call a fishtail or a fit and flare. And so that one, it accentuates two parts, and so it's going to accentuate the waistline first. It's going to come down from the waistline over the hips to the upper thigh or the knee, and then it's going to flare out to the floor. And then we have our T length, which is probably more. You'll see that more in garden weddings or location weddings on the beach, that type of thing. But even with location weddings on the beach or garden weddings, you can have something as extravagant as you would like for it to be, because guess what? It's your party and you can make it whatever you want it to be. So those are just 6 ideas that I'm throwing around. I'm not going to rush into putting anything together because there's certain aspects I need to make sure I'm taking into account. Number 1, what type of fabric am I going to use as the fashion fabric? Number 2, what type of decoration and design as far as lace and beadwork and all that type of thing do I want to add to the fashion fabric? And then number 3, really, how long do I want the skirt to be? So those are 3 things I'm taking into consideration right now. As I said, we've got the bodice, the underlining done. I will be cutting out the underlining skirt this week, and I will post it on next Wednesday. So you'll be able to see which one I've actually decided. Which one do you think it's going to be? The T length, the mermaid, the trumpet, the A-line, the sheath, or the ball gown? I can tell you right now, it's not going to be the sheath. So we can X that. We can X out the sheath. It's not going to be the sheath. Okay, so X that out. But so I've got 5 options that I'm thinking about. Which one do you think I'm going to wind up doing and that you're going to see next Wednesday? Maybe let me know in the comments. There were so many likes on the blue dress. Maybe you guys can start kind of communicating with me a little bit about what you think. It's okay. I don't bite. I'm here to have fun, and I hope I can have some fun with you. Until then, next Wednesday, have a great day. Have a great rest of the week, and may God richly bless you. Remember what I said our pastor told us: take it out your mind, put it on the paper, build it with your hands. Have fun in your life. Bye-bye.